Hello, fight fans. Thanks for joining us at MMA Insider. Before we get rolling with today's news, show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing. Now let's uncover the latest happenings in MMA. Starting off, MMA fans react after Jon Jones shares hotline for Tom Aspinall fight requests. Moving on, Conor McGregor claims Khabib Nurmagomedov fled his country after terrorists from his gym committed an act of terror. Next, Daniel Cormier says he's firmly against 12-6 elbows, compares it to street fighting. Lastly, Strickland targets homeless people in latest social media rant. Mixed martial arts fans have reacted to Jon Jones sharing a hotline for Tom Aspinall fight requests. As we know, Jon Jones is likely to battle Stipe in his next fight. However, many want to see him take on Tom Aspinall instead. The Englishman is the interim UFC heavyweight champion, and it seems like the move that makes sense. Alas, Jones and the UFC are ultimately going in the direction of Stipe Miocic, which will likely take place at Madison Square Garden later this year. Despite that decision, fans have been insistent on trying to get the plans changed. It's not likely to work in the slightest, but even White has admitted that there's a chance both Jon and Stipe retire after their New York showdown. With that in mind, it does feel as if there's some momentum behind the Aspinall idea, even if some don't want to admit that. During a recent post on X, Jones posted a phone number and told fans to ring it and explain why they want him to battle Tom. So, naturally, there were some pretty fun responses. After Stipe, we know who's next. The lineal heavyweight champ, bro just doxed someone. Stipe is going to get injured in 2 weeks, keeping him out for 5 months. Jones versus Aspinall on the December card. DC watching his phone blow up. If this is Chael's number, it would be the best prank ever. One thing we know about Jon is that he's never been afraid to wind up mixed martial arts fans. Do you believe there's even a slim chance that we'll see Jon Jones battle Tom Aspinall instead of Stipe Miocic? Share your thoughts in comments. Conor McGregor has made another startling accusation against Khabib Nurmagomedov as their feud continues. It's been almost 6 years since we saw Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov square off. On that night, it was Khabib who was able to get the better of the Irishman in a grueling battle. Ever since then, of course, fans have been waiting to see whether or not they'd ever have a rematch. Up to this point, it hasn't happened. What has happened, though, is that McGregor has continued to take shots at the Dagestani star and his family. From the Irishman's point of view, it doesn't seem as if this feud will ever be settled. In a since-deleted tweet, Conor had the following to say in yet another shocking rant. He fled his country after terrorists from his gym committed an act of terror in their city. He was banned from leaving and he fled. If he goes back to Russia, he is locked up instantly. I am currently in an auction to buy the house that was repossessed from him. It's going. It feels strange to think that they'll never actually fight one another again. After all, it's such a legendary rivalry, and yet they only met once inside the cage. Khabib seems to be pretty at peace with that. Yet while McGregor plans to return to the octagon, he'll likely never get the opportunity for true revenge. What do you make of the latest outburst made by Conor McGregor? Do you believe we will see him compete in the Ultimate Fighting Championship this year? If not, do you think it will ever happen? UFC Hall of Famer Daniel Cormier isn't a fan of 12-6 elbows and feels they should remain banned despite the recent lifting of the rule. The 12-6 elbow is a straight vertical attack to a grounded opponent, which was banned for years up until this summer. The Association of Boxing Commissions and Combative Sports recently voted unanimously to lift the ban from MMA's unified rule set, beginning on November 1st. Coincidentally, the ban is scheduled to be lifted just days before Jon Jones's anticipated return to the cage in November. Jones was the subject of a disqualification due to 12-6 elbow strikes against Matt Hamill before he became the UFC's youngest ever title holder. Cormier, one of the most renowned voices in modern MMA, feels the 12-6 elbow should be erased from the sport permanently. Here is what he said. I don't like that. I don't like 12-6 elbows, and I don't like soccer kicks. I just don't want anything that makes fighting look like a street fight. That's it. John McCain, before he passed, was against fighting because it was human cockfighting. They would show these videos of gang fights, people running around, and people on the ground. It starts to look like that again, and that's not good, man. The moment we start opening those rules again, it's gonna be more and more and more, and ultimately we'll get back to soccer kicks. Former UFC middleweight champion Strickland is at it again on social media as he awaits his next octagon booking. Strickland defeated former UFC title challenger Paulo Costa in his most recent fight at UFC 302. He's on hiatus as he waits for a middleweight title shot against the Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya winner. In the meantime, Strickland remains active on his social media pages and is making his opinions known on a variety of current events. One hot topic is the nationwide homeless crisis, especially prevalent in major cities such as Los Angeles and New York City. Here is what what he said. "I just don't understand the love and compassion for homeless people. These people are drugged out zombies. They're not down on their luck trying to get better, they're drug zombies. They bring drugs and crime around your children. Y'all need to man up and sack up." MMA journalist Helen Yee then pointed out the generalization behind Strickland's remarks, to which he responded with the following tweet: "There is a difference between the guy at a shelter looking for a job and a guy doing the crack zombie walk past a park. Big difference." Strickland has become a UFC fan favorite after his recent fights, especially after defeating Israel Adesanya at UFC 293. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Your dedication and support fuel our passion to bring you the latest and greatest in the MMA world. If you enjoyed today's news, please give us a thumbs up and share it with fellow MMA fans. Remember to subscribe to stay in the loop with daily MMA updates. We've got a lot of exciting news, interviews, and analysis coming your way every single day. Your engagement helps us grow and serve the MMA community even better. Once again, thank you for being an integral part of our daily MMA journey.